Here's Paddy's latest offer. It's 2 up, you win. For all Premier League and La Liga matches, we'll pay out immediately if the team you back goes 2 goals up. Not available in shops. T&C supply. 18+. Gambleware.co.uk.
Welcome back, Bruce Millington, Mark Langdon, James Milton and Paddy Powers, Ed Quigley. We're looking at Sunday's live Premier League games and at 1:30. The first of them takes place at Turf Moor. It's Burnley versus Chelsea. How do you bet, Ed Quigley?
So Burnley are 15-2, the draw is 7-2, and Chelsea are 2-5.
Stick with you, Ed. What's going to happen?
Well, like Burnley's home form is phenomenal. Like they actually sit third in the Premier League table in terms of home form. They're like Champions League equivalents there. But and Chelsea sit first in the away table in terms of their form. I mean, against similar opposition, Burnley have done well, I guess. I mean, they beat Liverpool obviously at the start of the season 2-0. They got mugged by Arsenal in the 90th minute as well in that game at the Turf Moor, and then like they only lost by 1 to City too, and like Chelsea, despite their dominance of the 8 away games they've won, only 4 of them have come by more than 1 goal margin. And I just think Sean Dyche would be looking at the teams below him and just going, just get a point out of this or aim for a point and sit deep. Now they have Hendrick and Defoe are obviously decent enough blows in terms of midfield. They're both out, but there's rumours circling around the internet too that Hazard may be rested and Louise as well. I don't know why they'd rest them, but allegedly there's talk of it anyway. So yeah, I do fancy Chelsea to win, but I think it'll be close. So I'll be backing Chelsea to win by 1 at 23-10.
An internet rumour. That's the modern equivalent of some bloke down the pub, isn't it? What do you think? What are you going to do here, James?
It's a tricky one. I mean, Chelsea's biggest test of the season, I suppose, isn't it? Going to Turf Moor, the way Burnley have been playing. So, real test of Chelsea's title credentials. And I think Chelsea and both teams to score could be the way to go here. I think, you can see it kind of being 2-1 or something. Burnley, were terrific against Arsenal. Beat Liverpool as Ed mentioned early on in the season. They've not really been kind of overwhelmed by these kind of teams, but Chelsea obviously far stronger. And Burnley pose a decent goal threat, but I think a narrow Chelsea win, but Chelsea and both teams to score for me.
Mark?
Chelsea to win by 1 goal. I agree with Ed. I mean, you mentioned there that Arsenal and City only scraped at home at Turf Moor. Even away from home, you have a look at Burnley, lost very late on at Arsenal, lost 2-1 to City. They were down to 10 men City for a long time. Lost 2-1 at Spurs and played pretty well as well at White Hart Lane. Their last 5 defeats have all been by 1 goal. Not the sort of team that you expect to collapse, particularly at home. I mean, they did at the Hawthorns, but other than that, been pretty competitive most of the season. And as I've continued to say on this postcast, Chelsea are just happy to get the job done any which way they can. And I saw Jose Mourinho mention that last week when he said, when he played counter-attacking football like that, everybody moaned. Nobody's moaning about the teams currently first and second in the Premier League playing that style. I'm not sure you can.
It's probably because they're not managed by an arse.
Yeah, there is that. I mean, I'm not sure you can sort of mention that when you just draw 0-0 against Hull yourself.
But who cares what that irritating?
I thought it was quite interesting because nobody's mentioned Chelsea being quite boring this season. I actually think there have been times when they have been quite dull.
I think you're right.
And it hasn't. It seems to be that nobody's really gone for that angle yet.
No, that's true. That will come.
Yeah, well, it will do because people will get bored of them winning by 1 goal and sort of.
But it's been a very profitable angle for you, hasn't it, Mark?
Yeah,
you've exploited that one quite a bit this season.
I mean, I don't think the market. I mean, because it comes sort of from the goals and the win price there. I just think it's the best way of getting with Chelsea, really, particularly away from home.
How would you like Sean Dyche as Arsenal's next manager?
He'd get them set up, get them hard to beat, wouldn't he? Yeah.
Would you prefer him to Wenger?
No, I don't think so.
4 o'clock. We had your view, Ed, on this. I can't remember. Yeah, we did, didn't we?
Chelsea,
we did. Sorry, Chelsea 1-1. Okay, 4 o'clock. Swansea versus Leicester. One of many relegation 6-pointers that we're going to have between now and the end of the season. I guess Swansea are just about jollies now, aren't they, Ed?
Yeah, they are. They're 7-5. The draw is 23-10, and Leicester 2-1.
What's going to happen here, Ed?
Well, Leicester have only kept 1 clean sheet away all season. Swansea have only kept 2 at home all season. Despite that, I don't know if it's going to be a goal fest. I think it's going to be very tentative from both sides. It's obviously a massive game, as you just said there. It is a very tricky game to call. Swansea have obviously improved a lot under Clement. I think just they're in a much better place than Leicester confidence-wise, though Leicester might have derived a bit of confidence from last night. Sigurdsson and Llorente both look up for the fight, and Narsing Sterling is a great acquisition too, I think, in the January transfer window. Yeah, I'd be going with Swansea here, but it's I wouldn't be going massive stakes at all. Like, so yeah, Swansea at 7-5 for me.
I agree with you. I'd be going with Swansea. I disagree with you. I will be going with massive stakes. I think Swansea are a good thing here. What do you think, James?
Yeah, I think Swansea, you know, the way they've played in the last couple of weeks, should be confident about this fixture. I'm not sure I'd be backing them at that price, but I like the look of Alfie Mawson in the first goal scorer market. Paddy Power offering a standout and very generous, I think, 30-1. He's the centre-back, scored 8 in 49 starts for Barnsley, got 2 in his last 5 for Swansea. Missed a good chance against Manchester City actually last weekend, and yeah, he's a real threat from dead ball situations. So yeah, he's my bet for this game.
Alfie Mawson, first goal scorer for James. What do you think, Mark?
Yeah, I mean, Sigurdsson's delivery, isn't it, is absolutely on point as well. I like Swansea. I mean, if we just ignore for the moment that Leicester won the league last season, if we can just gloss over that. I mean, you know, the season before they were massively involved in a relegation battle.
Yeah, this time 2 years ago they were virtually down and out.
Yeah, they were, and you know, now they're in another relegation battle. So I don't see, you know, how they can be considered, you know, better than Swansea necessarily, you know, given if they were playing a neutral venue. So I think home advantage here could be key. Swansea have won 3 of their last 5. The defeats were against Arsenal and Manchester City. Even against Arsenal, it finished in a runaway Gunners victory. But for half an hour, Swansea were by far the better team. Just couldn't get
a lot of individual errors, I think.
Yeah, it was. I think they are slowly eradicating those. You know, Paul Clement had a very good defensive record when he was manager of Derby. They couldn't quite get going in the final third, and I think he's done a solid job so far. And you know, Leicester haven't won away from home this season. They've also got a Champions League game now. They shouldn't be concentrating on the Champions League coming up. I wouldn't be surprised if they were, particularly some of those players that have maybe got these massive contracts. There seems to be now a big pay disparity between the top earners at Leicester and some of those that won the title. I think that's a problem for
There's
them.
a lot of chat about unrest, isn't there? And Ranieri's
obviously,
lost the dressing
some
room
of those
also.
the headline players got massive new contracts, and some of those around them that did sort of just as much in terms of winning the title didn't get the new contracts. I wouldn't be surprised if there was an issue there.
I'm looking forward to the final scene of that Jamie Vardy movie with him running out at Scotland in August. That's going to be good. Right, let's look at the Monday night game.
Here's Paddy's latest offer. It's 2 up, you win. For all Premier League and La Liga matches, we'll pay out immediately if the team you back goes 2 goals up. Not available in shops. T&C supply. 18+. Gambleware.co.uk.
We've got Monday night football this week for the first time in what seems like absolutely ages, and it's Bournemouth versus Man City, so it should be one of those games where I end up buying the passes and probably doing my brains, but it should be an attractive old fixture. Man City obviously going to be jollies to such an extent that I should think they're pretty long odds on, aren't they, Ed Quigley?
Yeah, Bournemouth are 6-1, the draw is 18-5, and City are 4-9.
4-9. James, Bournemouth struggling a little bit right now. Is that just a blip, or are they getting sucked into it?
I think they are. Yeah, I can't remember what price Ed gave about their relegation. About 8-1 was it? Yeah. You know, there's obviously a lot of teams below them, but the way they're defending is a huge concern. Obviously, conceded 6 at Everton, and you know, you looked at the highlights of that game and Lukaku's goals. Yeah, he took them all very well, but he had so much time and space to...
Well, Barkley had so much time, he celebrated.
Exactly.
He almost took his shirt off before he'd scored.
Yeah, that was extraordinary.
I like that. It was good, that, wasn't it?
Yeah, good bit of theatre, yeah. And you know, having conceded 6 at Everton, I think they're not really going to be looking forward to facing City. So I'm looking at kind of 3-1 and 4-1 City. I think there just have to be goals in this game. 8 of Bournemouth's last 12 have been over 3.5. They just look soft, really, don't they? You know, and they obviously beat Liverpool 4-3. Had the 3-3 when they threw away that lead against Arsenal. You know, they are going for it against the bigger teams, but generally they're getting punished.
A couple of fancy correct scores for James. What about you, Mark?
I was just looking at Man City to win and both teams to score, really. I mean, City, even when they dominate, rarely keep clean sheets. I think they are getting there slowly, but, you know, even Swansea scored. You know, we mentioned before the Tottenham game when they absolutely dominated and conceded twice, but they're now playing the best football in the Premier League this season. I think against Spurs and West Ham, it was just unbelievable. I didn't see the Swansea game. I was travelling back from Germany, but look, it sounds like they absolutely dominated again for an hour before Swansea came back into it. I just think he's sort of found the solution to the team, really. What
do you make of Jesus?
Yeah, he's been the saviour, isn't he, so far?
He has.
He just plays what Guardiola wants of a centre forward, whereas Aguero, for all Aguero's brilliance, he doesn't track back and work off the ball quite like Jesus has so far. I think Sane, Sterling, De Bruyne, Silva, it's a magnificent sort of four, and then Yaya Touré's actually, they found a good role for him just sitting there. Fernandinho, the new right back, was a definite concern area for them. I think that those full-back positions
shouldn't have been, should it? I mean, they've got two good right backs and two good left backs.
I'm not sure about the right backs. I don't really like Sagna nor
Zabaleta.
I think Zabaleta's best days are behind him. Bournemouth really struggled since Ake left. When he left for Chelsea, it feels like that they've fallen apart defensively. Obviously, Callum Wilson's a blow up front. Still got some. I mean, for all that they were terrible against Everton, Robles made a couple of massive saves at 3-2 that could have nicked them a point. They've scored many goals against Liverpool and Arsenal, was it 3? And so I think they can score against City, but it could be like a 3-1 or something like that.
Okay, Ed, what price is 3-1, 4-1 City, and City to win, both teams to score, please?
Okay, so 3-1 is 10-1, and 4-1 is 19-1, and the two of them Dutch pays 6-1,
That sounds right, doesn't it?
And City to win and both teams to score is 9-5.
9-5. What do you think is going to happen here, Ed?
Yeah, like City do look to be improving a lot the last few weeks. Like definitely since the Everton game where they got thumped. Like Jesus, if he's keeping, like the way I see it, if Jesus is keeping Aguero out of the side, he must be phenomenal. Like, and yeah, you can back him at evens anytime, which I think is a cracking bet should he start. And again, 7-2 as well. First goal score is probably worth a dabble too if he starts. Just like Bournemouth have conceded. They're obviously in awful form. They're winless in the last 6 in all comps, and they've conceded 19 goals in those games. Like there's something. Yeah, I think the loss of Ake has been huge. I know they tried to sign him during the January transfer window again, but obviously Chelsea didn't let him go. But yeah, I think they've got big problems coming. I think Bournemouth are right.
Are you Jesus or Jesus?
I think for headline purposes, Jesus.
I think it's Jesus.
Really?
Well, I mean, you don't say Henry, do you, for Thierry Henry?
No, I know. I think it's just a footballer called Jesus is just. I really like that. Oh, quick! They played for both clubs, Bournemouth, Man City. I've got one.
Sylvain Distin.
Well in. Now, Mark, tell us all about your hipster trip to Germany. What games did you see?
Watched Hamburg versus Leverkusen on the Friday night and drank 5 pints during the game as well.
You?
Yeah, it's
wow.
fantastic.
Strong lager? Or?
Yeah, it was strong lager as well. I didn't realise until sort of went to leave the stadium, just the 5 pints had taken their toll.
You started punching police horses and all that sort of thing.
And then on the Saturday night, Dortmund against Leipzig.
Oh, wow. Were you in the wall?
Wasn't in the wall now because there was 5 of us, including 2. Like my son was there as well, so the wall was no good for us really. The only downside was I backed Dortmund to score over 1.5 goals. And if you didn't see the game, I mean, they missed. I think it was like 3 or 4 1-on-1s at 1-0. But still couldn't ruin what was a brilliant trip. And
did Frankie enjoy it?
He did, yeah. He loved the.
You won't be able to take him to Southend
again.
No,
the definite atmosphere differential. He also loved. We went to Mini Wonderland on the Friday, which is just the best museum I've ever been to. I follow.
That wouldn't be a long list, though, would it?
Well, I mean, museums go in the same sort of categories, vegetables and salad. And I went to the German Football Museum on Sunday and saw the World Cup for the first time.
Did they have any Diddy memorabilia, scrunched up betting slips or anything?
No, there was no Diddy or Man stuff, but plenty of others. Like I say, and it's the first time I'd ever seen the World Cup, so I was quite impressed with that.
Fantastic, excellent, jolly good. Okay, chaps, thank you very much indeed. We will be back next Thursday with another Racing Post football postcast. Thank you very much for tuning in.
Check out Paddy Power's new and exclusive Cash Card Plus, available to use online, at ATMs, or even down the local. Paddy Power, you beauty!